Hello everyone and welcome to another Italian recipe. Today we're gonna make Ciriolette. Ciriolette is a typical bread from Rome. It has a lovely shape and it has a very intense flavor. I would like to thank Barbara Frangi again. For this recipe we are going to use Biga. What is Biga? Biga is a type of pre-ferment similar to the sourdough, but actually is made with normal yeast, the dry yeast. You will see the procedure in the video, but basically what the Biga does is to add more complexity and texture and aroma and flavor to your bread. And this is because the complex sugars are demolished into simple molecules which are devoured eventually by the yeasts. So this will add extra everything to your bread. So without further ado, let's start now. Let's make Biga at first. So in a small plastic box, add the water for the Biga. You will find the list of the ingredients in the info box down below. And the yeast. And mix well for 1 minute. Once the yeast has dissolved, add the flour. It's strong flour, this one, and start mixing from the bottom to the top. It is very important that you don't knead at this stage, so you just have to mix from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top. These little strands will create, as you see, and this will be perfect. It will take probably a couple of minutes. The problem with kneading at this stage is that if you knead, the yeast will start working and the final result will be very acidic. So just try to gently mix the two ingredients, exactly like you see in the video. Next, cover with the lid and leave at room temperature for 12 to 15 hours. The variability is due to the fact that your room could be at 20 degrees or 16 degrees or 25 degrees. So the lower the temperature is, the longer the procedure should last. For example, in the winter, I would leave the Biga at room temperature for 15 hours, whilst in the summer would be 12 hours. Right, it's been 14 hours and our Biga is ready. As you can see, the texture is completely different now. It's like firm dough. And it's so elastic. So take little bits of Biga and place them into your mixer bowl. Now add the water for the final dough. And start mixing with this hook, which is the flat hook or the K hook, very gently. The Biga will need to be dissolved or to become very, very soft. At this point, as you can see, the Biga is almost dissolved. So let's add a little bit of dry yeast, like this. Next, add the plain flour for the final dough. You will find the ingredients in the recipe and keep mixing with the flat hook. When all the ingredients are well amalgamated, change the hook with a normal hook. Add the salt. And keep mixing for another 5 minutes or until the dough won't stick on your bowl anymore, and it will be all concentrated on the hook, as you can see in this part of the video. Next, sprinkle a little bit of plain flour on your workbench, just a bit like this. And place your dough on top of the flour. Now fold the dough a few times, like so. And finally form a little ball that you will place into a pre-oiled plastic container. Now cover with a lid, try to seal it, and then place in the fridge for 5 to 6 hours. Right, it's been 6 hours. Remove the lid. And place the dough on your workbench. Now sprinkle a little bit of flour on your scale and all around your workbench, and cut the dough into smaller pieces. The weight of these pieces should be 100 grams. Okay, this is 100. And keep going until you will have 7 or 8 small pieces. If last piece is too small, it's not even 100 grams, I will show you later what you can do with that. Now place some parchment paper close to your workbench, like so. It will be where you will place the Ciriolette once formed. And then form some kind of little balls, as you can see from the video. Right. Now stretch the little ball just a bit, like 10 centimeters, and then roll it exactly as you see in this video. If it's a little bit sticky, use the dough scraper or just a little bit of flour, like so. And then roll the extremities. So the final shape should be similar to a rugby ball. As you can see. So take another little piece, form a ball, stretch it, roll it, and flatten the extremities. Like so. That's perfect. And place it on the parchment paper. And keep going until all the ciriolette are formed. Then cover with a clean tea towel and let to prove for 60 to 90 minutes. It depends on the room temperature. If you have a smaller piece that is not 100 grams, it's like 70 grams for example, you may want to place it in a glass and cover it with some cling film and store it in the fridge for 2, 3, 4 days. It will be useful as a new pre-ferment or a new starter. After 30 minutes, don't forget to switch the oven on to 120 degrees with a tin inside and a little container with some water. Right, it's been 90 minutes and the ciriolette have proved. The oven is very warm, the tin is in the oven, and the water in the metallic container is boiling, so some steam has been created. So slide the ciriolette onto a tin gently and score them. One long cut, not too deep, and then a smaller cut in the center, smaller but deeper. This is important for the shape, for the final shape. Long, shallow cut and short, deeper cut in the center. Next, slide the ciriolette with the parchment paper straight on the tin which was in the oven and cook for 20 to 25 minutes. After 5 minutes, open the oven just a little bit and spray some water inside to create even more steam, like so. You can see the metallic container at the bottom. It's been 15 minutes and as you can see the ciriolette are nice and colored, nice and brown. Remove the paper, remove the water, and bake for another 5-10 minutes. Alright, the ciriolette are pronte, ready. Aren't they lovely? They got a lovely shape. And what a perfect fragrance. Listen to the crunch. Excellent. Crunch test. Passed with flying colors. Let's taste some.
Alla prossima, ciao!